So hello and welcome everyone. Today we'll be seeing a demo session on the basics of AWS, and mostly we'll be focusing on the instance creation and the basics of the AWS, like what can we do with our free tier AWS account that we just created. And we can also see like what are the services that we can explore like in the very beginning stage of our cloud career. And I'll show you some of the very cool stuffs that we can do with an AWS account. We'll be creating an instance that we call a server. So let's skip this and straight away jump to the demo session. All right. So for that, I need my account to log in again. I'll quickly log in and I am inside my AWS account. So I'll go to my landing page, that is this one, and or wherever I am, I'll just search for EC2, or you can search for compute VM. It will still compute instances, it will still give you this EC2 only. So wherever you are, you just need to go to the EC2. So let me open EC2. And you see, this is the page which comes while opening EC2 instances or EC2 dashboard, that's what we call it. So here you see there are lots of things. In the beginning, it all might look overwhelming, but I'll tell you, we have to create a server, or we can also call it instance in terms of AWS language. That's what you can see here. So let us try to create an instance. And if you go to the instances, you will see an option for launch instance. Just click on launch instance. So this is a very easy step. So what we are going to do, we are going to name our server, which we are going to create. So basically what exactly the server is, it's basically you can say a virtual computer that you are creating, but that's not inside your own system. Like we use VMware or VirtualBox, there also you create a virtual machine. Okay, but the only difference is those virtual machines are using your own laptops or computers, systems, storage, or the machines. Okay, basically, you can say the same kernel or the same OS is being shared across the VMware VirtualBox and your system. So, but this is an independent one. Basically, you are taking on a rent from AWS servers. So let's create this. I will name it as maybe demo instance. Okay. And now it is asking like which kind of, whenever you go to buy any laptop, you decide, right, that you want to buy a Mac laptop or a Windows laptop. So it's just that if you want to create a Mac OS, you can create a Mac OS. So let's say I want to create an Ubuntu instance. So I'll go for Ubuntu. You can go for Windows as well. So it's up to you. If I'm using Mac and I want to create a Windows laptop, so why not? I'll create a Windows one. If I want to create a Mac, so I'll create a Mac. So let us create an Ubuntu. It's the most basic one, and I think you all people should also start with this. Like it's the most basic one. So I'm selecting Ubuntu, and automatically it is selecting the latest Ubuntu version. You can see this is the operating system that we're selecting, Ubuntu Server 22.04. You can see there are lots of previous versions, but let us leave to the default. That is the latest one. Now architecture, that is the kernel version or the OS architecture. So let us leave it to the default. You can change it as well. We have into 86 and we have the ARM version. Then coming to the instance type. So what exactly is an instance type? Instance type is nothing but it's just I can say, whenever you buy a laptop, you see, right, that it should be i3 or an i5 or like i7 processor. This is the processor, or you can say the motherboard of your system or the computer that you are creating or the virtual machine that you are buying. Imagine you are in a shop and you are buying a laptop. So first thing you did was you decided, okay, which laptop to buy. So you decided, okay, I'm buying Lenovo or HP or Apple. That's the name. Just an example. Now, inside that, is it a Windows laptop or a Mac laptop? So that you decided here, the operating system. Now, the chip, the processor, that is i3, i5, i7, that is T2.micro or whatever it is. Then you need a password. Okay. So last time we created a key, but I'll create a new key pair for you. So this will be like my key, but it's always advisable to keep the reason inside the key so that to avoid confusion or the VM association with the key. So my name is the VM name is demo instance, Virginia key. Let's not write key. Demo instance in the Virginia region. I'm getting .pem file. Let's create the key file. Let's download it in my local. Now, if I am going to create it, it is asking for a network. So let's leave all this to default. Let's leave everything to default. And let's just go ahead. Let's not confuse yourself for this in the beginning. Now, how much storage you need? So we are leaving to the 8 GB for the default one. It is like it's basically asking you like what is the storage of your system that the laptop you are buying it. So it's 8 GB, but it's not just it's not hard disk we are talking about, it's the RAM we are talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead. And this is the hard disk. I mean, EBS up to 30 GB we can get in the free tier. So let's not touch it. Now, in the advanced details, let's not touch it for now. Number of instance one, we can create 100 instance at a single command, but that will, of course, exhaust our free tier limit. Now, T2.micro volume, free tier limit, T2.micro, everything is in uh, range, and let's click on launch instance. So this will create our instance and successfully launched. If I go to the instances, you will see it's in the pending state and it will be created within a matter of like maybe 30 seconds and it will be ready. So now once the server is ready, there are 2 to 3 ways to connect to it. Suppose I'm in a Mac, so I have this terminal. I can straight away open this terminal and I can just connect it via the terminal. But suppose you are on a Windows laptop. So from a Windows laptop, you can download Git Bash. That's my personal favorite that I used to use. Git Bash is a third-party software which creates a terminal in the Windows instance too. Or you can maybe download VS Code, and in the VS Code also there is a Bash. Let me show you. If you go to the VS Code and if you open VS Code, if you open the terminal here in your Windows also, let me close this. If you download VS Code, you will get an option of terminal, or somewhere on the top there will be an option to create terminal. So you just click on terminal, new terminal. So you'll have multiple options to create it, like it will ask bash or ZSH. So you'll have to create a bash terminal, and there also Linux commands are supported. So if you're using a Windows laptop, you can go ahead with bash. I'm on Mac, so I'll be using a terminal. So, but the most basic one to connect, which is by default, is just click on connect and just go ahead. Nothing you have to do, it'll straight away connect to it. The connection will be established and you will be inside the instance in no time. So there we go. We are inside the instance. Now, if I do sudo apt update, it will update my instance. And that's it. That's how easy it is to connect via the console. But this is having a timeout setting. Like if you be like unavailable or you're not active on the terminal, this will get timed out. So that's why this is not recommended, only for the emergency purposes. Remember, we created a key. That's what we are going to use to connect to it. So for that, I'll be opening my terminal. Let me increase the size. Now, my key is downloaded into the downloads folder. So I'll go ahead in the downloads folder. CD is for changing the directory. CD, downloads. I'll go to downloads. Now my key is there. If I do ls, so lots of things are there, but my key by default is not something that I can use. The permission needs to be changed. For example, the command to connect is SSH. We are going to create an SSH connection. So what exactly is SSH? SSH is a secure cell connection. So as I told, we have created a virtual machine which is not with us, but it is with the AWS servers. So we are going to access that server remotely. So the connection that we create, that is called secure cell connection. So we are going to do SSH. Now we'll be using a flag, SSH -i, to tell that where is our key. So my key is in downloads folder only and I'm in downloads folder only. So I'll be writing the key name. And if you remember, my key name was, if I forgot, I'll come here in the details and I'll scroll down and I'll find my key name. That is Demo Virginia, Demo Instance Virginia. So I'll just paste it here. Okay. Now, what's the username for my instance? If you want to see the username, by default, that's Ubuntu. Or if you want to see how to see it, just click your instance, open it, and click on connect. You will see the default username. Okay. So I'll be writing ubuntu, Ubuntu @ and the public IP. So where you will get the public IP. So all the instances that you create is having a public IP by default. So just go ahead, copy this and paste it. But after this, we are going to face an error because we have not changed the key permissions. Ideally, it should give an error. Yes, permission denied of the public key. So we'll increase the keys access. So the command for that is chmod 400 and the key name, that is this one. Okay. The key name is this demo instance Virginia. I'll paste it and no such file. Okay, I need to give the extension also. That is .pem. Demo instance Virginia dot. It says that there is no such key. Is it? So where is it downloaded? It's downloaded in the downloads folder and demo instance Virginia.pem. I'll copy this and okay, yeah, I have to write chmod 400 and then this. So this has changed the keys permission. Now, once the keys permissions are changed, I'll run the same command again, ssh -i, the key name, the username, and the IP address. Enter, and this will straight away take you, but it is still not taking us. Ssh -i, demo instance Virginia, Ubuntu @ okay, let me check the security group. So the security group is this one. If I open the security group, it is allowing SSH from everywhere. Edit the inbound rules. So, okay, if I do anywhere IPv4, still it is the same only. I'll save the rules. You made no changes. That is fine, of course. The same thing. So, if we are saving, so my rules are still the same, but I have not made any changes. So, SSH -i demo key demo instance Virginia.pem Ubuntu 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 @ the public IP so this should connect. Yes, so it connected. So ideally it should have connected in the first time also, but maybe some glitch or I did some mistake. I'll have to go through it again. But what I did, I went to the security group. I edited the security group. I deleted the existing one and I re-added the same thing which you just saw. Now I'm inside and this will be a stable connection. So if I do sudo, let me know if you want a video for Linux commands, like the basic Linux command. Sudo apt upgrade. Lots of mistakes. Apt upgrade -y for accepting everything. And this is going to upgrade all my existing packages and the library. So let us see. And yeah, pretty much everything you can do. I'll quickly show you by installing Nginx server on it. For example, the public IP on which it is running right now, that is 34.230. If I check it right now, nothing is running on it. So if I quickly run a like web server on it, you can maybe see something on it. For example, okay, it is asking, I don't want to, let's cancel it. Fine. I'll quickly show you how to install an Nginx server. So what is an Nginx server? It's a web server which creates the webs. It actually runs a web server on the public page. Okay, it's asking which services to be restarted. So daemons using outdated libraries. So I'll click OK and let me check it if it is installed or not. Okay, it is there. So now if I refresh this, I should see a web server running on top of it. So this is the IP address. I open into the incognito. It's not coming. So what is the problem? If I do cat index, yes, it is running perfectly fine. But it is telling restarting the services. Okay, some services are getting restarted. The clone services and the systemctl restart. Fine, let us do one thing. Let's exit this VM and re-enter. So I'll create the connection once again. Okay, I am in. Sudo apt update is getting hit. One package can be upgraded. Apt list upgradable to see it. Okay, fine. Okay, yes, it is happening because we have not enabled the HTTP on our web server. So let us do that again. It's good to have errors in your during your practice so that you can learn. So if I go to edit inbound rules and if I just add a rule, HTTP port 80 from anywhere, and if I save the rule, now if I refresh this, yes, there you go. You have the Nginx server. It will not have showing you because we had not enabled the HTTP service. So now since we have enabled it, we can see it. Now it's pretty 1 minute job to edit this and change it. For example, if I just delete this sudo rm index and I just sudo nano index.html hello world, this is my website. That's it. If I just save it, exit. Now, if I refresh this, there we go. You have your website ready in 2 minutes. Faster than Maggie. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today's video. And not just in incognito, even in here also you can see it. That's not a big issue. So yeah, that's the thing. And don't forget to delete this instance because that's where you get charged. I'll delete it right away. So you are, I think, now well aware that how to create an instance and maybe even troubleshoot it up to some extent. So yeah, so that's it from my side today, and I hope you liked it, whatever was delivered. Thank you so much.